Welcome to Season 3 of the I Talk to Angels podcast. I'm Beverley Densham, author of the book I Talk to Angels. I really look forward to bringing you tips, meditations, angel card readings and guidance from the angels every week to help and inspire you, whether you're new to the angels or have loved the angels for a long time. So I'm really excited today to be joined by Denise O'Dwyer, who is a classical Feng Shui consultant and Chinese astrologist specialist. And today it's going to be a conversation with astrology and the angels. So it's going to be a beautiful opportunity to discover the connection between the two. I'm really going from the perspective of what the angels have to say alongside Denise today. So it's going to be really, really interesting. And Denise works with professionals, entrepreneurs to create more success in their lives. Hooray for this. And after a career in the corporate and commercial sector, she studied Feng Shui and Chinese astrology in London and Kuala Lumpur, graduating in Feng Shui Mastery with distinction, before returning to London to set up her successful international Feng Shui consultancy. And she works in the UK and abroad, helping people attract happiness, opportunities, relationships, and wealth. How amazing is that? So I really hope today's conversation helps and inspires you with astrology and the angels. Let's talk to Denise right now. So really excited to be chatting today on today's I Talk to Angels podcast with Denise O'Dwyer. Today it's all about a conversation with astrology and the angels. This just seemed like a brilliant idea. So here we are. So Denise, thank you so much for coming along.
Oh, Bev, thank you for asking me. And I'm really looking forward to see what comes out of all of this. So, you know, we've had so many chats over the past few weeks. I'm like, well, let's see what comes out when we do it.
Exactly. And the angels love astrology. It's they're very drawn to it, and so far in my experience they seem to agree with everything, so which is a good thing. It's a good sign. So how did you actually get into astrology yourself?
Oh, okay. So I've always dabbled. So I'm a Chinese astrologer and a Feng Shui consultant. And the two things go hand in hand, because really your astrology is your personal Feng Shui. And so I started doing Feng Shui really as a child. So I got really, really interested from a really young age. And I used to move my bedroom furniture around and things like that. And then I asked my parents to put this Chinese wallpaper on my wall, which is extraordinary, really, because I grew up in Rochdale, so far away from any of those influences. But it was something that I was really drawn to really early on. And then I had just a normal career. I worked in marketing. And then I reached a point in my life where I got one email that just triggered, you know how you can just hear one word or one email that just sets off a chain reaction that then changes your life. So I got an email from nothing to do with Feng Shui, but it was from the Dowsing Society, and they had a Feng Shui architect who was going to speak about dowsing. And suddenly just a light went off in my head, and I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to train in Feng Shui. So it's really hard to train in Feng Shui. So I did loads of research, and I found a school, a Hong Kong school here, started learning Feng Shui. And from that, then you learn Chinese astrology, because how we connect to our space is through our date of birth. And so from there, I did 3 years with a Hong Kong school in London. And then I found myself on a plane going to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia to do my mastery. So I don't know how that happened. It was just another one of those things. And the next thing in Kuala Lumpur. And so Chinese astrology, I just kind of built and built and built on top of the Feng Shui. And then suddenly it just got a life of its own. So that's the background.
So how's it helped you personally?
Okay, so once I understood my chart, I understood my life. You know, I'm sure we all have those questions which are just like, okay, so why do I have this thing that that is a theme in my life, or why did this happen, or did I make the right decision when I chose such and such a route? And suddenly, once I understood my chart, everything was there, and I was able to see my life and go, it was always going to be, it was always going to be this way. But that's an important point, because actually we use astrology because you can see what's coming up, and it's not your fate, it's your destiny. So if you see something that's coming up, you can, once you have the information, you can then make a choice whether you want to go down that route. But prior to that, I'd just been following my chart, and my life was unfolding, and I was making decisions, important decisions in my life. And I looked at my chart and went, yeah, I was always going to do that. I was always going to, that was the right decision at the time, because there it is in my chart. Going forwards, I have a choice. And the other thing that was really great is Chinese astrology allows you to understand your whole personality. And I really think that we kind of get to a point in life and we don't really know who we are, because we're a kind of a mix of what people have told us we are, what we think we should be for other people, and something kind of in between. So once I understood my chart, it's like, it's permission to be me. And suddenly it was like everything made sense. I don't have to change anything. I can just fully embrace all the things that I love doing, how I am as a person. And it's the same for everybody. Once you understand who you are, life becomes so much easier.
Yeah, let's pause there. It's funny, I just did my my weekly angel event for Spirit and Destiny magazine. As you know, I'm one of their angel experts, and today's topic was exactly that: be myself. So it was all about being yourself. It was being yourself with the angels, but basically it was about you being yourself. And if you have a beautiful spiritual side, or whatever it might be, or whatever it is in life, about being yourself. And and sometimes people aren't fully themselves because about being judged by others and not liking that, therefore not hiding because you want to hide, but it was very much about that topic of being yourself. So it's lovely that you've become yourself through everything that you're doing.
I love that, Bev, because I think it's such a great gift when you use a tool like this to go, yeah, I know that's me. And now I can really be me. And I don't need to worry about what other people think. I can just genuinely come from my true self. So that's just brilliant, actually.
Personally, I don't think I've fully mastered it is. Personally, I don't think I do still care what certain friends and family think, but I'm at the point where it's so wonderful just being yourself, and you're not everybody's cup of tea. Not everyone gets you at all. Might be close family, some of them, and it's just about having a wonderful time yourself, and then in your work having a wonderful time as well, being yourself.
I think
understanding that not everyone will like you, even if you're amazing.
Do you know, that's such a true point, Bev. And I've worked with people and have friends and also myself. And, we've got to come through life going, oh, you too this, you too that, or whatever it is that people have said to us. And it's just like, this is my chart and I don't care, because this is who I really am. And I think the liberation from that complete acceptance is just profound.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. And what do you love about what do you love about, I don't know, one main thing that you love about it in your work?
Doing astrology is my most favorite thing, and I'm a complete astrology nerd. And so if things happen in the news, I will always look at the charts, of who's involved, what's going on. And that's how you learn astrology, by kind of looking at it in real life. And I think what I love the most, it's working with people and just seeing that transformation that comes when you see the penny drop and they go, oh, I get it. Oh, I absolutely get it. And that kind of self-knowing that comes when it's, because your chart's like your mirror. I think it's a mirror of yourself. And when you see that mirror, you go, this is who I am. And when I see people get that point of realization, that is hugely rewarding.
That's really good. That's really good. And so you do people's astrology charts. So for someone who's like, I've never heard of that, and what on earth is that, and how can it help someone? Obviously, you've said a few things, but for somebody who's like not never heard of that.
Yeah, so most of the people that arrive to have their astrology done are open to it, which is why they've kind of turned up. However, I do have people who send their husbands or send their partners, and I'll come on screen and they'll be like, the husband will be sitting there with his arms folded. Like this. And then once you start just kind of unfolding their picture, suddenly they go, oh, then this is real, because yes, this is very true. But people who are coming to it fresh, who know nothing about it at all, I always say, really, it's an opportunity to find out who you are, where you are, what your strengths are, your weaknesses, where you are in your life, looking at the opportunities that are coming up, because it gives you a great roadmap so that you can maximize the opportunities that are coming up for you. And equally, any bumps in the road, any challenges that might be coming up. And so we can anticipate and divert so that we can make different choices. And I always say it's like driving around the M25. If you have your chart, if you don't like what's at junction 18, because you can see it coming up in your chart, you can go, actually, I'm going to stay on the motorway and I'm going to drive around to junction 21 because I like it more there. So your chart gives you that opportunity to be able to foresee and therefore either embrace it or navigate around it. And so when I say that kind of thing to people, it's like, your chart is the roadmap of your life, and your, we call it your 4 pillars. Your main chart is you, it's the car, and how you choose to drive it is down to your own human free will. But what we're having is knowing what that car is capable of and the roadmap on which you travel in this lifetime.
Yeah, the angels say very much so, and it's exactly the same ethos of working with the angels. You can get the guidance, like for you with the astrology, and it's the same with the angels. You can get the guidance from the angels. However, it's up to you whether you follow that good guidance or not, whether you go off on another path. Of course, if you decide not to, take the guidance, doesn't mean everything's going to fall apart. But, sometimes it can be a better path. It's like when I ask, whether it's for a client or for myself, for guidance, it's generally, they often come up with better ideas. They really do, to make life happier or better, or whether it's a good time, a challenging time, or a sad time. It's they're there to make it better, and it sounds like it's exactly, well, it is the same. Well, the angels say it's very much the same with astrology.
Yeah, because I think the important thing that you kind of flag up there, Bev, is the element of human free will.
Yeah.
And, we have all these tools. We have what you do, working with angels, doing astrology, and there's other modalities out there as well. But at the end of the day, the biggest part of what happens to us is our freedom of choice, and making those choices that then impact on the rest of our life. So what you do, what I do, and other people do, it's like, here's the picture, here's the information, here's the guidance and the knowledge, and now it's down to you to make that happen.
Yeah, to take some action and give it some oomph, and have to put the effort in, have to whatever it is, you have to practice the tools, you have to, it's like brushing your teeth, you have to keep doing it. It's not like, same with working with the angels. It's, it's the same with anything, isn't it? If you want to be any good at it, you've got to keep working away. It's not like waving a magic wand. It's not how it works.
Yeah, because as people, we've then got to put that effort in, because it's like things don't just usually drop out of the sky and go, here's this amazing gift of something. It can happen, but largely it's, here are your opportunities. Now go out there and do it, make it happen.
Yeah, there's a really good author and book called Bounce, and the author's Matthew Syed. It's about the power of practice, and it's just wonderful. Anyone who's successful has got at least 10,000 hours of practice, and goodness knows how many years of and qualifications and whatever, and have really honed their craft. It doesn't just happen. So yeah, it's great that that astrology helps with all of that. You mentioned before in our previous chats about the fates. What is that, and where are we at the moment, and where are we heading to?
Oh, you mean in the cycles of time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So in our own personal charts, we go through cycles, 10-year cycles, and they start and finish at different points for different people. Because can you imagine what the world would be like if we all changed into a new 10 years all at the same time? It'd be chaos. So
yeah, very much so, the angels say, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So but as we change also in our cycles, so does the world, because we're not separate. Obviously, we are completely connected to everybody else and where we are. And so what we have is cycles of time that change on the bigger picture. Right now, we're standing on the threshold of a huge shift. So we in our system, in Chinese metaphysics, we go through cycle change every about 20 years, 19.8 years, we go through a cycle change. And we're moving, we call them fate periods, and we're moving from one big fate period, the 8th fate, into the 9th fate. So it's a huge, big cycle shift that we are in. And we started that shift point in December 2020, and we arrive at where we're going in 2024. So where we are in the world is this very different, very challenging time that actually is part of that bigger energetic shift that we're already in. And I've been studying this for years, and knowing that we're in this shift point, so that it was coming starting in 2020, I used to kind of look and go, how do we make a shift? Everything is about more. You'd go into an airport or into the city or something like that, and you just see it's like busier and more planes and more everything. And I used to think, how do we make this shift when we're just on we're kind of programmed or on this path of accumulation of more and more and more. And then how do you make that shift? You put the brakes on the world with a global pandemic, boom, and here we are. So we're going through, and as painful as it is, we're going through a bigger cycle change.
Gosh, I did get tingles on my head when you said that, sort of feeling the presence of the angels when you said that, and just feel like saying from the angels that that you are still supported at this time as well. What would you say?
It's great to hear that from you, Bev, because change is the constant. The only thing we really have is change, and from change we get growth, and sometimes it can be really painful. So if we look at our own astrology charts, when we go through a changing time, it can feel like we're standing at a crossroads without any signposts, because change, as human beings, I think we're programmed to be change averse, because it's all about survival. So, we like the same, and we like stability. So when we find ourselves faced with a big change, it can feel very destabilizing. And but ultimately change is an inevitability, and everything exists in cycles, and it will be okay again, and it will be okay and better again. But we're going through that change point to get to where we're going, where it will become stable again, and things will actually be better, because it's in a growth. We're in a growth cycle, and we see where we're going in our system. We're coming from what we call the 8th fate, and the 8th fate's was all about accumulation. And we know this because it's based on a chart, because we don't just kind of make it up. It's actually, we can see it and we can predict it. We can see where we've been and we can see where we're going. And the 8th fate came in as we had 9/11. That heralded the change into the 8th fate, and that changed so many things. Lots of things happened around that, not least how we travel. And then so during those 20 years, so the leaders of we call them the leaders of the eighth fate, were younger men. And when you look at those 20 years, lots of younger men became very wealthy in the city, in property, and that is exactly what was meant to happen, because that is the essence of the eighth fate. And now we're moving into the ninth fate, which is a wholly different feel. The qualities, the themes are completely different. As the eighth fate was an earth, what we call an earth fate, because we work with the 5 element cycle. The ninth fate is a fire fate, so that brings huge change. So one of the principal themes of the ninth fate will be spirituality, because fire element represents spirituality, a more kind of holistic way of doing things. And what that means is that anybody who is aligned with the work that you do, Bev, this kind of work, anything that is more holistic or has a spiritual...
Oh, angels are going crazy on my head now, tickling my head like mad when you're saying this to confirm it.
So, that has made me go like,
oh, big tickles. Really big tickles. Carry
really?
on.
So, so any business or anybody that is aligned with that kind of work, they become the leaders of the ninth fate, and will do really well. So, and the leaders of the ninth fate, as the leaders of the eighth fate were younger men, the leaders of the ninth fate are women, because we can see it from the chart. There's a cycle of time, and so we have experienced this for 160 years or so. So basically, this is the time for people like you, with what you do, what I do, and other smart, spiritually minded women, to really step forwards and do what we do in a relevant and meaningful and needed way.
The angels say it's really, 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 really important. I mean, another aspect of my work is mindfulness, Pilates, which is done in an incredibly holistic way with angel cards and positive affirmations and everything. But the whole, whatever it is, holistic, as you say, and spiritual, the angels just say it's just obviously going to come into the forefront more, and it's just that's huge importance. But it's interesting that it, from an astrology chart point of view, it's interesting that's coming up to the forefront.
Yeah, and don't you think that there are more and more people who are stepping forwards, who do this work? Like, you have this podcast and you do the work that you do, and it's it's needed. People have a requirement for this kind of support, or this kind of knowledge. And also, it's like I hear more and more the word spiritual or spirituality, that kind of theme, more and more is just kind of become in the mainstream. Gradually, it's kind of seeping into the mainstream, when before it was, a bit kind of fringe, and not a lot of people use that word unless they had it in a different context. So there's a lot of shift that's already subtly taking place, I think, in people's unconscious minds, because we're already feeling the change that's coming in.
The angels are kind of saying, like, I think more and more people are becoming more confident about no one has to come out of the spiritual closet, but the more people that are being themselves, the theme of a bit of a theme today, more people are being themselves, and that's really important. But also the other thing that it's just coming up then really strong. Oh, there's a few things I wanted to say. We'll just carry on. But yeah, that's it. The other thing that popped up there is that I think more and more people are realizing how non-judgmental someone like myself, or anyone who has a spiritual side to them, are, that we do still accept everyone as they are, of different faiths, different religions, and that we can just work beautifully in unison, in harmony, in a loving way alongside each other without divide. So I think that it's breaking down those barriers as well, I think, is really award-winning, the angels say.
Oh, I love that. That's such a great expression, award-winning. Because really, spirituality, I really like that, award-winning. Spirituality is, by definition, a connection to something greater than ourselves. So that's not just, it's on every level. So a connection to people, a connection to ideas, a connection to higher things, on every level. So I like that a lot, that what you're saying, that it's, what the angels are saying, it's not only a connection in a more kind of formal definition of that word. I think it's connection on every level.
Yeah, very, very much so. And also it's about everyone following their intuition, following their guidance. It's like, well, we met and then the next minute I was guided to ask you on my podcast. So I don't know why I'm just following my guidance. Oh, that's a great idea. And it's the same with, it's like, and the angels as well want us to work more in unison with other light workers who are at the forefront of their work or whatever. I work with a friend, Chris Meredith, who's a spiritual broadcaster, and doing some groundbreaking work, bringing more and more other fellow authors up to the forefront to help raise the bright vibration and bring more tools and happiness. So I think I'm just getting this thing like, it's important that we're working together and not in separate units. That, it's like you've got the world and here we are kind of joining and expanding, and there's more and more of us sort of expanding out there to make a difference and to help, really, and that we really care.
Yeah, I agree with that completely, because what we do, like, this is my modality, you have your modality, you have the Pilates with a spiritual theme, I love it, and there are lots of people who are using their own modalities, and at the end of the day, it's all the same thing, because we're working with energy, we're working with people's energy, we're working with a bigger energy, and we might use different language or different concepts, but ultimately it's the same thing. And I really think that with all the other people that I meet who work in this kind of field, we all kind of go, yeah, it's the same. We almost arrive at the same point. I've worked with Vedic astrologers, and I've worked with different kinds of numerology people, and it's like, yeah, it's the same. So we're all, and when we had this fate shift in when it started in December 2020, also there was a big, I don't really know Western astrology, but in Western astrology there was also that was a very significant point in their system too. So it's great that we all align, it's kind of handy, but it's also very affirming as well. And I've lost the thread of what I was saying there, Bev.
Yeah, but it's all true. It's all true. Now, there's something that you talk about quite a lot, is chi. So for someone who doesn't know much about that, or they've sort of heard about it, what would you describe that as?
So chi is energy, and so when we work with Feng Shui, we work with the energy, the external energy, and the chi that flows around the planet, and therefore comes into our places where we live and work. And that external chi then connects with our own personal chi, so that we can read that from our astrology, because that's like a map of our chi. And so our own personal chi interacts with the external chi in the Feng Shui. So it's an energetic exchange, it's an energetic process. And so if you've ever walked into a place and gone, ooh, that makes me feel, however, what you're picking up on is the chi of the environment there. Same when we meet other people, we don't have to like everybody that we meet, and that's fine too. But what we're picking up on is our own chi interacting with us, and it might be something in their chart that is different to ours, or if you meet somebody, you go, I love that person. I met a woman when I was networking, and when I was doing speed networking, and she sat down, and you get like 3 minutes or something to talk to each other, and this woman sat in front of me, and I just went, I don't know what you do, but I really like you, we're just going to have to meet up and have a one-to-one. And before we'd even exchanged any words, when you get that connection, you just go, I don't know what it is, but I really want to talk to you more. And when we met, it's just like, oh, we recognize something in each other. So that's chi, that's the effect of chi, our personal chi.
I like that description. That's very true. It's a really, really nice description of it. And going into sort of what's been going on in the world, the uncertainty, the big changes that have been happening, how can astrology help people right now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think that it's very easy when we go through a big shift like the one that we're going through to feel afraid, and because it's uncertain, and when uncertainty can bring up a lot of fear. So I think from our perspective in Chinese astrology, we have a really clear idea of what's happening, and we're just like, yep, this is exactly how we expected it to be. We knew we had a big shift coming, and we knew there was a big shift coming in 2020. We didn't know really how. We didn't know it was going to be quite like this. But when we look at it in the context, I feel that it gives us a feeling of certainty and a feeling of understanding that makes it easier to feel okay, when it's hard and when it's scary and things are happening around us. It gives us a bigger bucket, basically, to understand this, all this craziness within the context of the bigger picture. And I think stepping out, trying to step out and look at things in the bigger picture is in itself very healing. When we're going through difficult times, that ability to step out and look at the bigger picture can be really helpful.
Yeah, I found it hugely unsettling. I think everybody found it hugely unsettling a year ago, and I had to completely transform and shift how I ran my business to going online and doing my angel practitioner course online, and everything going online, and mindfulness Pilates online, and it's like you have to make big changes when things like this happen, don't you? And then you go into a new flow. But I think what I found, I don't know what you found personally, but I found that having like an angel morning routine and having really good healthy things in place, from meditation to angel cards, we're going to pick one in a second, to positive affirmations, to whatever it is for you, going in nature, walking. I find all those things, journaling, visualization, all those things, hugely helpful. Have you found any things yourself like help you stay feeling good as possible?
Yeah, it's really necessary, I think. All those things that you've just flagged up there, Bev, I think it's really important as a kind of self-care routine to have those ways of understanding the context of where we are and keeping ourselves anchored and connected to ourselves. It's really easy to spiral off, I think, into doubt and fear and losing sight of the essence of who we are. So obviously I use the tools that I have, so we can see, so I have all my dates planned out for the year, so dates that support me, dates where there's no support in the day for me, things like that. So I use that a lot, so it means that I can tailor my activity knowing that I'm getting the best support from a particular day or a month. But I always look at my chart and I'm like, okay, so what do I learn today? What's the day bringing for me? But I think for you, with the modalities that you have, it's really important to find whatever it is that gives us routine and a sense of normality, and continuing to be anchored into ourselves.
Yes, it's really, really important. And, not just what's been happening in the world in the last year, but it can be like my brother died last summer, and it can be traumatic, sort of sad times like that. And you need tools to help you through all these different times. It might be a sad time of passing of a loved one or loved pet. It can be, heartbreak. It can be, the stress of, financial stress for some people, the stress of work, just, transforming. So what you said about the days, I think having that sort of angel morning routine. So for you, the better days for you. So is that like you've got a map of every single day of your year then in your astrology chart?
So,
or you just have certain days?
So
today's going to be really great.
You just get out your calendar and go, oh, it's a great day. So it's all based on the Chinese calendar. So you can, it's online, you can find the daily Chinese calendar online. Obviously the trick is how to kind of read it because it's in Chinese, and how to understand it related to your own particular chart. But once you know that, and I've been teaching astrology over last year, like you said, you know, we had to pivot, we had to change, and go with the flow. Otherwise, you just got to.
Angels tickling my nose about that. They're saying, they're confirming it. Keep going. Very tickly.
So I have a Chinese calendar, but anybody can have it. You know, I found it from a friend. If you have Windows, if you go into the Windows calendar on, I think it's Outlook because I don't use Windows, but you can ask for the Chinese calendar and it will give you, and it's all built in there, will give you the stem and branch of the day. So if you were able to know what days supported you, you'd have to do a bit of work on it. But if you knew that, you know, it's all there. It's all there. You just need to use it as a tool. So
they can come and see you for that as well if they want to get a bit more detail. Get a bit more detail in.
But you have your, you know, you have your cards, and it's you know, everybody has their own way of connecting to the energy of the day, should they want to.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to do an angel card now and see what card comes up for you. So we're going to just have a think, wherever you're listening to the podcast, what this means to you today. Today's all about a conversation with astrology and the angels have been very present, particularly in a clairsentient feeling way today, wanting to confirm the astrology conversation, really, because it's accurate, and as you know, so it's worth having a, you know, little think about that. Notice if you got any little tingles or tickles at certain points of what Denise said today, because that means there's a profoundness to it, or there's accuracy, it's a confirmation to it, or things like that. Anyway, let's just felt like mentioning that a little bit more. So let's see what card message we get. This one's jumping out. Yeah, I'm not surprised we got this. We got C for Chip Chop. So the messages I've written in the sand with my guardian angel, these are the angelic meaning cards. It says, when you get worried or upset, ask Archangel Michael, who is an extremely powerful archangel, who can be with you and everyone at the same time, which is quite amazing. The energy is that strong of this angel. Ask Archangel Michael to cut the cords of fear and stress from you, leaving cords of love. That is exactly what we're doing in meditation today.
Wow. Because, you know, that's just what we've been talking about as well, Bev. That kind of finding certainty or connection in fear. Yeah, wow.
Oh, I've got a big tickle there then, just under my nose. Yeah, exactly. So that feels like the perfect, it feels a bit like it's going to be a bit kung fu kind of, woo. There are these invisible etheric cords of stress and fear that can attach between us and a people, person, situation. For most people, they're invisible. If you're more clairvoyant, you can see them. I tend to sort of see them, feel them, sense them, but they don't need to be there, and they can be released, you know, into love and light. So we're going to do a deep angel healing cord cutting meditation with Archangel Michael today for you in the meditation-y bit. That is the plan. And then we'll bring in that does then bring in lighter energy. Sometimes it's emotional with healing tears. Sometimes if you do get any tears in today's meditation, I don't think in a whole year of podcasts I've said that, but if you do in today, it's just purely healing tears. So then you'll feel better afterwards. Rest assured, you always feel better after angel healing and this sort of healing with the angels. And then we'll bring in a light, bright, positive affirmation for you. Then you have to go and do something uplifting or recharging, replenishing afterwards, such as, you know, and grounding, like going for a walk, doing something fun, putting some great music on, obviously having some water, nice cup of tea. And do something that's going to make you really smile afterwards. Maybe go for a nice little walk in the fresh air, or at least open the windows. So let's just see what positive affirmation comes up now. Have a think about what the first message means to you. Take a breath in and out. Interesting. Maybe read something. I love to read. Reading makes me happy. What do you think, Denise?
Well, the question is, what do you like to read? I like to read charts. So it's liking to read knowledge. Everything is out there. Everything. You can learn anything these days because it's all mostly for free. There is so much there. You can read and learn. And I actually think that growth through learning is really important. So I really like that affirmation.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's a lovely one. I think learning is amazing. I always read my book every day, like an angel card. I pick a page intuitively and, what does that mean to me today, or journal or whatever with it. But I always have someone else's book on the go. And I think that's very exciting. There's just so many incredible books out there. And keep reading, everyone, whatever it is that's uplifting and positive or a learning experience for you, and give yourself permission to do it. Some people say to me, I love reading, but I never read. I've not read a book since I went on holiday 2 years ago or something. It's like, well, there you go. Give yourself permission.
Nice.
So for some of you, it might be escaping in a book later, who knows? Or an astrology chart. Or maybe you'll have an astrology chart done and you'll be reading it with absolute fascination. Yeah. And implementation. Who knows?
That's lovely.
So have you got a takeaway tip you'd love to leave everyone with today, Denise?
I would say that know that when we're going through difficult times, challenging times, everything is cyclical. Everything comes in cycles because that is the natural law of how things are. So whatever you're feeling, if it is of challenge, know that eventually it will change. And as winter becomes spring, the green shoots will come up and you will start to feel better. So I think the key is to always kind of have a bigger view and know that wherever we are right now, it will change, because it has to change, because it always changes, and because things come in seasons, it will again become a positive and more uplifting time.
Yeah, that's really, thank you very much for sharing that. I think that very, very wise words there. A lot of you will feel a lot of relief from that, and the angels just agree with that. It's just beautiful. So Denise, we're going to go into an angel meditation together now. And then we'll come back again. So we'll be back in just a minute. So really enjoy today's meditation. So welcome to today's a conversation with astrology and angels meditation, especially for you. Placing your hands on your heart or wherever is comfortable for you. You can sit or lie down for the relaxation and meditation with the angels. Starting off by breathing and relaxing completely. Just breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth, relax. And just relaxing more and more on each out breath. And today's message for you is Chip Chop, and this simply means it's going to be a beautiful chance to release anything that doesn't serve you anymore, in the form of any invisible etheric cords that may have attached between you and another person, people or situation that might have been stressful in some way or very stressful. So it's going to be a beautiful chance for some angel healing as you breathe and relax. The angels say that sometimes the angel healing and meditation in this way may be a chance for emotions to flood out or release out, such as tears. But you'll always feel better afterwards, or you might just simply feel relief or just feel better from it as you breathe and relax. Going to be bringing in the Tibetan bell as we do the cord cutting with Archangel Michael. Cord cutting is a beautiful form of angel healing. So if you hear the bell, you'll know that these are a chance for some beautiful sounds and angel healing with Archangel Michael. Breathe and relax. Going to start off with an angel prayer, especially for you. Archangel Michael, please place a blue purple cloak bubble of protection around you, and that this angel healing and meditation is for the highest good of you and everyone and everything around you. Breathe and relax. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And now breathe naturally with the natural rhythm of your breath, in through your nose and out through your nose. Guardian angels, please help you see, hear, feel and know what the angels would love to say to you today. Thank you. Rest assured, with angel healing and cord cutting with Archangel Michael, that the angels will always lead the cords of love. But it means that you don't have to spend any more time with this person, people or situation if it doesn't serve you anymore. You can always do, you have free will, it's always what's for the highest good of you. I'm going to do 3 cord cuttings and angel healing today with Archangel Michael. If you want to, only if you want to, you can think of something that may have been stressing you out in the present or past, and you're going to give yourself permission to release this with love. First of all, Archangel Michael, please cut the cords between you and the world situation, whatever that might mean to you right now. And just take a deep breath in. As you exhale, blow any negativity, stress out of the window, leaving the cords of love, allowing you to feel more positive, and those cords just disappearing into love and light with the support of the angels. Archangel Michael, please cut any cords between you and a particular person, people or situation in the past or present that's been stressing you out. That person might be yourself, so this might make you laugh. And if it's made you smile, that's a good thing. But sometimes we stress our own selves out with our own thoughts. So you're going to give yourself permission, if you'd like to cut the cords. Archangel Michael, please cut the cords between you and yourself, because sometimes you can create your own tangled web of stress from your own thoughts and emotions, and this doesn't serve you. So Archangel Michael, please cut the cords between you and yourself and any thoughts, past or present, that are just so unnecessary, and you didn't need to think those. And you can give yourself permission to be kind to your thoughts now, to be loving to your thoughts, but also to observe them and not be attached to them either, allowing them to flow in and to flow out. And as you breathe and relax now, we've finished the angel healing now. As you breathe and relax, just feel yourself now. You're just going to ask the angels to fill you with love, to fill you with healing, and to fill you with peace and serenity. This intention also is to surround you and everyone and everything around you with love, with peace, with serenity and compassion for others. Thank you. Archangel Raphael, please surround you with an emerald green healing light. And know that your guardian angel is with you like a spiritual best friend anytime. Just ask. All they ask in return is a thank you. And remembering the message of I love to read, reading makes me happy. And enjoy something uplifting after meditation. The angels are saying when your mind wanders off in meditation, say well done for noticing, say well done. Don't beat yourself up that your mind's wandered off to this and that. Just allow your thoughts to be noticed like clouds floating on by. Say well done for noticing and go back to concentration of your breath. And enjoy the natural rhythm of your breath now 5 more times in this gorgeous place of peace and serenity. Breathe and relax. Thank you, angels. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you to your guardian angel. Thank you to Archangel Raphael and any other beautiful angels that came to be with you today. Your guardian angel is going to give you a big hug now. A beautiful angel hug. Absorb this unconditional love. Your angel's now going to give you a gift of guidance. They're standing there to give you a beautiful gift. It's a gift wrapped gift. And if you'd like to, you can receive it with love. It might be a song. It might make you laugh. It might be something you visually see in a clairvoyant way. It might be both. You might have a sense of a word or words in the box. It might be a movie of actually really visually, vividly seeing the box and what's inside. You might just know the message. There's lots of ways you can receive the gift. Just say thank you and just enjoy daydreaming with your gift for a moment. Then take a breath in or yawn. As you exhale, just wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly coming out of meditation. Slowly opening your eyes when you're ready. If you're lying down, just slowly roll onto your side, come up to sitting. Maybe do a few little shoulder circles with your shoulders. Have a nice glass of water afterwards, perhaps a nice cup of tea. And really treat yourself to something uplifting afterwards. Give yourself a little bit of time to come round. Perhaps go for a lovely walk in the fresh air. Perhaps put a fun, beautiful song on. Perhaps get your journal out or do something that's beautiful and positive and uplifting for you. You deserve it. Really hope you enjoyed today's meditation. The angels are sending you so much love. So really hope you enjoyed that meditation and maybe gentle or maybe deep healing with the angels today. How are you feeling? Just make sure you do have some water. I'm going to have some now. Cheers, and well done for showing up for you. Denise, thank you for joining in. How did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it. You know, that was a gift in itself, Bev, because it's time to kind of pause and step out of where we currently are. I really like the cord cutting with yourself, you know, the kind of getting out of your own way, because we forget. We kind of so focused externally. We sometimes forget to put the focus inwardly. And the gift I loved, and I had a really clear idea of what was in. Well, I had a box, what was in there, and so I'm going to go and work with that further. It was lovely, Bev, and it was a real gift. Thank you.
That's all right. So it'd be lovely if you do listen to, well, obviously you are listening to the podcast, and if you want to share what your gift was or your experience of meditation or what resonated with you, you know, from an astrology and angel point of view, so that'd be amazing. We'd love to have a nose about what gift you got. My one, shall I share my one? Yeah, the angel's saying share my one today. My gift that I received from my angel was love. And I had also had the gift of the song, like Love is in the Air kind of thing. And it's like when the meditation ended today, it was even a sense of me and the angels were sending you so much love because we do care a lot about you. You know, so it feels like a love for myself, but also it feels like a huge love for my work and work. It's very divine working with the angels. So I really appreciated the gift of love today. So it gives you an example of what might have been in your gift, but there can be so many different presents that you can receive, and then you can investigate the gift a little bit, like Denise said, like, well, actually, what does that mean? And I think that love gift can have so many meanings. It can be me being a better parent today. It can be so many things. And am I coming from a place of love, or am I overtired and moody and not coming across from that loving standpoint? So I think I think that was a beautiful gift. So thank you, angels, for that. So Denise, thank you for joining in the meditation today and sharing a bit of your experience on that too. So where can everyone find you on your website?
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Bev.
Right.
I've absolutely loved it. And I really love your work. I do. I think it's just really needed and really relevant and very, very deep work that you're doing. So thank you. It was really, it was great, actually, really great. I'm so zenned out now after the meditation.
Yeah, so you need to come, you need to just get yourself back in your body, everyone. Have, maybe a nice cup of tea as well. And you've got to do something physical, dance, move, walk, something to just bring yourself round. Give yourself some patience while you wake up.
Oh, exactly. God. So you can contact me, you can email me, and I will email you back at
what's
my
your
email.
Website, it'll be on there, won't it?
The easiest. So I've got a holding page at the moment because it's being redone. Because
you don't need to say that. It is there.
Great. So my web address is www.fengshuielement.co.uk, and my email is on there, so you'll be able to contact me through that.
Yeah, if you want to say your email as well, that's fine.
So I have another email. They all go to the same place, but I have another email, which is Denise, which is DENISE at ChineseAstrology.co.uk.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Oh, thank you. I've absolutely loved it, Bev.
Lots of love.
Thank you to you too. See you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the I Talk to Angels podcast. Please rate and review on your podcast platform. You can access my free angel healing meditation on my website. You can get a signed copy of my book, I Talk to Angels, which includes a free manifestation meditation with the angels. You can also book your one-to-one coaching and angel card reading by going to angeliclifestyle.com.